By the way, if you're new here, my name is Nicholas. I'm an astrologer. I have a channel called Sparkles of Gold Astrology. In case somehow the algorithm picks this up, I'm spontaneously going live here as I do on this channel, this time vertically, mobily, here on my channel. Who knows what's going to pop up? I'm going to wait a little bit to see who jumps in here. This is sort of an experiment, to be honest, about doing vertical streams mobily, and there's reasons why. You'll probably see options here that you'll have on your phone to contribute in chat and all that kind of stuff. So saying that, if you are here, please say hi in the chat so I can see it. Again, this is a vertical stream. I want to wish a happy equinox to everybody out there, which is basically the beginning of spring here in the northern hemisphere and fall in the southern hemisphere. And I always mention the southern hemisphere when I'm on my channels because I have a lot of you who are there. Hello, KP1231 in chat and Melody. Hi, welcome to another surprise vertical stream from my phone. Uh, just want to say hello. Again, I was talking about how we're in the equinox here, and yeah, I'm like, okay, I'll go live from the phone. SMC here is in chat. Hello, and Angela, a channel member, a paid channel member. Good to see you, Angela. Happy equinox to all of you. So yeah, feel free to interact. I'm kind of curious to see what options you have when you're watching this. You're probably gonna see an option on the screen that's like to donate, like to me, which you all know that. I'm not asking for that, but there's a there's a jewel, like a bits option that they're trying to do like Twitch. And I thought this was interesting because there's new things coming up. Hey, Patrick, another paid channel member is here. What's up, buddy? Happy equinox to you. We're at 0 degrees Aries, an interesting, phenomenal point in the astrology world, the beginning of the astrological year, basically, we have here. According to 12 signs, 12 months. And we say the first sign of the zodiac, or the first sign of it all is Aries, but it's in general a 0 degree moment here because it's a particular degree, 29 degrees Pisces, 0 degrees Aries. It's very important this year in astrology in general because numerous planets are going to be accessing this particular point and moving over it and reviewing and redefining it and eventually moving forward. Saying that, one of those things is happening today. The sun's at 0 degrees. We're going to have Mercury and Venus pretty much do this in the next week where they're going to go retrograde back all the way to zero and go back into 29 Pisces. Eventually, they're going to stop going retrograde and going backwards, and they're going to come back and they're going to hit this 0 degree place. The end of the month, we're going to have Neptune do this at the very last day. Neptune's going to leave Pisces after 14 years ish and hit 0 degrees. Saturn's going to do this at the end of May. And then other planets like like Uranus and Gemini here in the summertime is going to sextile this 0 degrees Aries point. Uh, Pluto's pretty much kind of there, sort of ish. We won't really talk much about that. I want to say hi to Bo Dragon in chat, along with Fishy Gamer. Should you like? You do whatever you want. You want to like as much as you want. But anyway, we're talking about 0 degrees Aries point and just we celebrate the seasons here on this channel, and many of us who are practitioners, whether you're an astrologer, a tarot practitioner, or you're a farmer, uh, uh, whatever you believe in or not believe in, you know the seasons are always there for you, and it's like clockwork. So saying that this particular point in the astrology world is pretty big this year for the planets like Saturn and Neptune and Uranus and all these other planets that are gonna move over the degrees here in the next weeks. I in particular feel that there's a observational moment in time here in the next several weeks when we have planets like Mercury and Venus going back and forth from Aries to Pisces and back, that it's sort of like is giving you the clues and the information you'll need for these bigger transits that happen here down the line that I mentioned when Neptune and Saturn go to 0 degrees Aries and really kick in later in the year and next winter basically. So we have some training that we're doing, and we're doing it verbally with Mercury and relationally with Venus. And when things move from Aries, which is a self-based fire sign that is wants to impose its will on the world and is for themselves and instinctual impulsive actions that run through any planet that runs through Aries, Mercury's running hot and heavy there, and Venus is trying to relate that way and put their wants and needs first and foremost, and there's no filters about it. But when these two planets are going backwards, we have a read that we're reevaluating how we take action that way. So it might not be going the way an Aries wants it to be. So this reevaluation process goes over the 0 degree point eventually and goes into Pisces and tries to see the bigger picture of it all and isn't necessarily there to take action, but it's more about, I would say, when Venus is in Pisces, more of the compassionate, loving, big view of a story and how we're all intertwined and all connected and how we take actions through Venus, through through our senses and through different ways of communicating when Mercury goes back there. It's more of an exploration, I think, internally, and I think when the planets are, let's say, are in Aries, back in Aries, it's an external push outwardly into the world. And so, how does one balance a more impulsive Aries instinctual movements to a more intuitive, different time schedule type of thing that happens when the planets are in Pisces? Want to say hi to Jim Walvard. Hello to you in chat. And Canada Dry is here. How are you, Canada Dry? Good to see you. It's my little vertical experiment. I'm going to try to do 2 more of these within the next month. There's reasons why to do these vertical streams is because there's certain things you can only do on a vertical phone stream that are actually not on the big streams. And one of them is a particular thing, their version of bits. I think they call them jewels. So on Twitch, they have these ways of donating through bits, they call it. Here it's jewels. You probably see a button there that looks like a jewel. Anyway, oh, we have astrologer Mackenzie here in the chat. Hello, Mac, who just put out in the last 35 minutes, 45 minutes, put their own video on the Equinox and Aries. So if any of you out there want to check out a new YouTube astrology channel, a fellow colleague here in chat, astrologer Mackenzie has their own channel. I watched the video, by the way. And Nadia is here, another paid channel member. Hello. So tell me, any of you out there, how's the last 24 hours been now for you? Some of you know that I was up later last night and I did a live stream, a more Neptunian throw your intention prayer into the void ritual I did. So regardless, if you have any thoughts in chat about what these transits are doing for you, how do you feel about uh, uh, the start of spring and the start of fall in the southern hemisphere? I know some of you out there in southern hemisphere have had hot summers and you're like happy that the season's changing. Gustavo, hello in chat. I see you, Gustavo. How are you? Welcome. So, yeah, as an astrologer, I'm tired. I've done a lot of posting the last 2, 3 months. I've done a lot of videos, and there's so much more here, but I can't do formal videos sometimes. I might try to do a Venus Sun one for the weekend, and a Mercury Sun conjunction that's going to happen on Monday, or do it all in a weekly forecast. But I'm realizing that part of what I do really flows on live streams, and when I'm doing a vertical one like this, I don't have to use all the controls that I'm doing to run those bigger streams like I did last night. And there's multiple things going on in the background. Here it's a lot easy. Patrick says in chat, touch the gift icon if you're curious about the jewel-based gifts. Yeah. You know what's wild? I don't know if they're doing it to all users because this is new, but supposedly if I do this a certain amount of times vertically and there's certain types of traffic that come in, they're going to give me bonuses on the back end. Now, I don't I don't think that's going to happen, but that's what they're pushing this. So hey Moonsprout, welcome. Welcome to chat. KP1231 says I had a great day, but with some Neptune, it might be too good to be true. It could be that way, and it could be something else. You don't know till later. You know how you know if it's too good to be true or not, or whatever, is like when we hit these 29 degree places. So Mercury and Venus are going to do it here very soon, and you're like going to reevaluate if it's true or not. And then when they move forward, like I mentioned earlier, we're gonna see if it's true or not, right? So, as a matter of fact, let me look at that because I want it. My desktop is right here. I can look up the ephemeris. Oh, fuck it. I'll just do it. I just can't do it on screen. I need to see something. So basically, it is when we do Venus hits 29 degrees Pisces, 0 degrees first on the 26th of March into the 27th, Venus will be at 29 degrees Pisces. Then Mercury will be there the 28th into the 30th is when Mercury is going to hit 0 and 29 degree. And so then when we move forward, Venus, Mercury will, let's see if I can get this straight. We'll hit 29 Pisces at April 15th to 16th and then hit 0. So it does it first, then Venus then kind of, trailing up after that, and we'll hit it on April 29th and April 30th. We'll hit the 29-degree Pisces and then the Aries point. So you see how this is playing out. Uh, Hope it's true. Well, hope is a thing. Well, you can hope sometimes in 29-degree place. So yeah, I just want to acknowledge the equinox, see how you all are doing. Again, you can leave a comment down below, tell me what's up. I got these other buttons here on the screen. I don't know what's going to happen if I press them. Like I got this it's retouch, so I guess it made me got rid of my wrinkles. I want my wrinkles. What's this? This is a green screen that I could use. I could use. Oh, there's some artwork from my stream. Like here's a green screen. Here's some artwork. I wish I could move it around, but I can't. But I'm trying this stuff out. Actually, let's do this artwork in the background. We'll use the chariot because it's a card that's predominant in my world right now. So I'm on a chariot, like and you see the wings, Hermes, right? You have moon and sun, right? Moon and sun. There's other things in this card. You could see around his waist. Do you see his waist? He has the astrological glyphs around his waist. It's kind of like the Wheel of Fortune in one sense too. So there's that. Uh, Happy astrological new year to you, Moonsprout. Nadia says, big questions on my mind at the Pisces Aries gradient are about to channel compassion. How to give it direction and purpose. Can it have definition? Yes, it can. It can. Like it can be a lane in the pool of feeling. It can. And that's, I think, the process of this, of figuring it out, is what we're dealing with in the next month. So there's that. What other things do I have? Um I have a chat filter button and I can oh, here, let's check it out. Um I'll do it like this. I'll start a poll and I'll say, hey, I like to do this. Um this is a funny one that I'll do. Pisces, or while I do this, you're gonna see it pop up on the chat. It's kind of, and I go like this. I spelled that wrong. I spelled pieces. You're gonna see this very soon as I finish. And then we'll go here. And there's my poll. I just started. You let me know if you see that. So I have a poll down there that says Pisces or Aries. Sorry, I'm making you choose. I'm making you choose. So saying that, yeah, for me, I think that for some reason I go back to a long time ago when Uranus entered Pisces, and that's when the Fukushima event happened. And that was Uranus coming in. I think here with this one, we have a long drawn out situation of trying to figure out, what it is to us entering in new phases and places with these outer body transits that are happening. Pluto finally in Aquarius and Uranus flirting with its movement this year that's going to happen into next year, and with Saturn and Neptune flirting with this point. And so uh, we we know that we're pretty much surfing and having to hang on between old and new, or different storylines in the world and how they're overlapping into new into what's coming. And this kind of liminal place can be very uncomfortable for people, especially if externally out there and what's happening is pretty, it's brutal for many people. So again, it's like, how do you do that? For me, I've been talking about on my channel about looking into one's own personal world and seeing where um, you have your juice, your vitality, or reclaiming that vitality. And if you have to hole up and do things and restructure things that way, that's what you do. You'll have your chances down the line. Other people are right there, you know, they're able to take actions now and they're comfortable in these types of places. And most of the time, you could see the transits happening to people's charts where they're having major squares in their chart or something where they're forced to change and they have to, right? And that's the benefit of having astrological aspects like conjunctions and squares sometimes, because you're thrown into the mix and you have no choice, you know. So KP 1231 says, I'm going with Aries because the Pisces is squaring my ascendant. And Moon Sprout says, I feel like I'm in a lull since Pluto went in Aquarius. That's good if you're in a lull. Patrick says, Neptune in Aquarius, false starts, new delusions, a cycle of birth through great destruction. That can work that way too. I think it's interesting that it'll be in tandem with Saturn. We don't have the official conjunction that happens, but it's less than a degree away this year, and then it really kicks in next year. So, but we do have, this is a reminder about this 0 degree point. We do have Jupiter going into Cancer. Remember here when we're dealing it, I'll tell you the exact date. It's February. No, the exact date is June 9th, and Jupiter will go into the sign of Cancer at 0 degrees and square the 0 degrees Aries point where we are today. So another thing is, right now I'm looking at the poll and it's 50-50. 50-50 on this sucker. So that's pretty good. That's what we're doing in general with the transits. We're doing 50-50. You got no choice. So, you know, that's how it goes. Okay, we got an SMC in chats, an Aries ascendant at 10 degrees, and this is where Venus stationed at 9-10 degrees a little bit ago. And on the 29th, we're going to have this another eclipse that happens at 9 degrees Aries. So SMC is on stage in the opera right now. We're cheering you on. We're cheering you on. And that Mars and Cancer transit is kind of what's fueling you right now, what it is, right? So there's all these other people who are dealing with cardinal angles. Let's say if your rising sign is Libra, Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, we have a lot of cardinal activity affecting those signs right now. From the eclipse that's going to happen here to the 0 degrees Aries point to other things. They're in the mix here. Lorian says, my BD, my bad 29. I see. I try to understand that. Kate completed their national certification in phlebotomy. I can't even say that word. Phlebotomist. Yes. Congratulations. That's great. That's an art, by the way. I know about people who do that kind of work that takes something. But congratulations on that, Kate. Good for you. Good for you. Oh, Lorian says their birthday. I see. Your birthday was when? Today? I'm sorry if I don't remember. I'm gonna look at my poll again. Now Aries is winning out, which it should in the poll. So besides that, that's what's on my mind. I need to rest, honestly. I'm gonna try to do that the next couple days before I make a video or something. And I'm gonna make a video just to talk, a catch-up video for my Patreon and my YouTube channel members, my paid members. Hopefully that comes out in the next 24 hours. I'll ramble like I am here. Just some thoughts on what's coming down the pipeline for me. Oh, Lorian, your birthday will be the 29th. I see. Okay. So there's that. What else am I working on? I will show you. I'm doing some Neptune research. I've got all these books on Neptune I'm reading, and to remind myself, because I feel like I need to have a different perspective. I know my own perspective, but I need to be better at putting it into words. And so I have a bunch of references and things here on my computer and bookwise that I'm looking at. I'm a big fan of Bill from a modern astrology point of view. Okay, wait a second. Let's get this straight here. Let's get rid of this. So Bill's book, I like Bill's books because they're practical and simple, and there's a lot. Now, some of it comes as a modern languaging. So if you're traditionalist, it might drive you crazy. If you're traditionalist, you don't even know what this word is. You don't care. It's not in your chart. So anyway, so I like his way of doing things. There's a whole stack of other Neptunian types of references that I have here that I'm just kind of looking at. This is how I look at it. So I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Put it away. And I'm like, what the? I can't even remember what I just read. What did I just read? Let me go read it again. Um, I'm confused. Actually, I'll read this part to you. Greek mythology tells us that Saturn, Kronos, was the daddy of Neptune, Poseidon. But here was a father who didn't spend 1 minute getting to know and love his son. He simply allowed Neptune whole immediately after the baby god's birth. No wonder claustrophobic Neptune is still traumatized by fears of confinement and abandonment. Actually, to ensure its power to rule over the manifest world, the archetype of earthly time, Saturn, manages to consume the archetype of cosmic timelessness, Neptune, which sounds symbolically like what happens when each incarnate in a physical realm that immediately swallows up our memory of our spiritual origin. Realize, too, that Saturn castrated his own daddy, Uranus, an archetype of the abstract heavens, and thereby pretty much accomplished the same thing. It sounds as if mythological Saturn did whatever it took to destroy the power of that which is eternal and universal in essence. For these and other reasons, Neptune has forever been wary of Saturn's devouring energy and will only work with the ringed one as long as it doesn't ever again become trapped in the dark pit of this planet's stomach. And that's kind of a joke if you think about Saturn Kronos' stomach. Okay, so it's interesting what he's saying there. That it's kind of saying Saturn kind of rules it out in one sense with Neptune because Saturn's bringing reality, and there's a type of thing with Neptune of being out there and dreaming and all encompassing, but it doesn't want to be limited and put in a claustrophobic state with Saturn. Again, see, Bill. That was one paragraph. See, Bill's no mess around. He's got a bunch of books. A great modern astrologer. He's got Jupiter one. There's a Uranus one. There's one, the big one that's just about astrological aspects in general. Always a good accessing Bill's work. Patrick says we know we're just polite to use it in mixed companies. Patrick's talking about traditional viewership of outer body planets. When it's heresy to say that Pluto is now, if one is doing a Hore election, or not Hore, like a Hore or an electional chart, the two different things. I I when I do it, I try not to look at the outer bodies. I just don't. But if there's something that's like a massive conjunction on there, I'll look at it. But things are moving so fast in the clock that those outer body planets, that's why we go to Saturn. Only in there. Denise says, Aries, yay, Cap rising, Saturn everywhere. Yes, Cap rising. Haven't felt so positive and ready to rock. There you go. Not sure where to yet, for I don't know how long. Am I deluded? No, you know exactly where you are. That's the other thing about the current situation right now is remember, we just had a Saturn Sun conjunction recently. But Saturn's a player in all of this during the retrograde season. It's your anchor, and it's if you know where you stand, regardless or your life stance and what life is given to you right now, if you're trying to figure out retrogrades and all these transits, Saturn's always the planet that's going to tell you where you are, even if it's shitty. And so at least there you know. And so it's an anchor, it's a thing. And damn, can it be an anchor on one's head? Like it could suck. At the same time, one uh, dresses in black and wakes up early on a Saturday morning can make it their own. With some dark foreboding music and crushing, just and so saying that, there's obviously ways to work with Saturn. I think it has to do with accepting the acceptance of Saturn, and that is a whole story within itself, and it can be very difficult for people. I understand. Uki's in chat. Hey, what's up? I voted for Pisces, but I changed my mind. Go change your mind again. Yeah, so let me look at this thing. Pisces is now winning out. Got my moody chat members. All right, so saying that, is there anything else? You got a question in chat or anything you want to say before I head out here? I'm gonna go 5 more minutes because I'll hit the 30-minute mark. I could read something else from here. Oh, I like this beginning of the book. Because when I just think astrologers have a field day discussing all sorts of situational possibilities when the subject at hand is planetary transits. The manifestation of transit patterns are highly individualized and seemingly unlimited. Multiply that by the endless variety of planetary configurations to be found in people's natal charts, it starts to get mind-boggling. It's impossible to write in vivid detail about everything that can happen to us under powerful Neptune transits, including the subtleties and nuances we experience that cannot adequately be conveyed by even the most poetic words, although music seems to have an uncanny way of capturing the emotive tone of Neptune. Those soul-moving, inarticulate moments of our life when we're overtaken by waves of exquisite feeling definitely belong to this awe-inspiring planet, Neptune. It's not easy to write about such moments or Neptune's dark night of the soul, quote unquote, episodes during which we wander through the shadowlands of a troubled psyche. Therefore, I will only focus on certain themes of transiting Neptune that take into account our capacity for ongoing spiritual development. He's got a more modern view on it. It is a modern planet. A little example. If you decide right now and you're Googling this book, please go into my information below this video or to one of my past videos and click the bookshop link that I have and go find it and buy it through there because I'll get a percentage of this. I'm not going to look it up right now, but some of you know the book lists I have and the books that are mentioned in my past live streams. I put them on a book list, and there's some other link on my website somewhere that desperately needs updating, and I'm fearing I don't even look at my website right now. I don't even look at it. I got a book list up there and stuff like that. So there's an Amazon affiliate links that I have, but if you do bookshop.org, it's the way to go. Kate, anything before you go? Yes, you should know I adore you. That sounds like some Neptune adoration. Maybe one day you won't adore me. Wait. But I appreciate the energy behind your statement. Kate, appreciate it. Thank you. Anything else? I got a minute and a half left. 23 votes. Pisces is winning. How come I can't vote? They won't even let me vote. I would vote for Aries right now. I would vote for Aries right now. Yeah, see, Patrick, see? He says you should get to know him first. Then you'll... What's the opposite word of adoration, of adore? Like, hate? I hate Nicholas, but I love your live streams. Oh, thank you, Kate. Kate says, by adore, I mean that I care for your well-being, good fortune in your chest. Thank you, Kate. And you're part of that. All of you regulars are part of that. This ain't nothing, just me talking or whatever. It's your comments and your participation and these people who got on the phone with me last night on that stream who went there with me, who were all dead serious, and they called up and they're like Probably we're they have to deal with the delay factor of calling me on a phone, and then they have to deal with me not talking to them. Just listening, heavy breathing in the background. But again, this channel is it is what it is, and it's evolving because of the people like you watching and participate and all that kind of stuff. So look at I don't have, I got 3,200 subscribers on my channel. There's people who started at the same time I did that have 8,000 right now. It's because I'm not doing the videos like they are, the way it's done, and I maybe we'll get to that. But what I do have is like I can randomly stream like this and talk astrology, and many of you are astrology fluent too. Um, and I could have 30 people just jump in like they are now with no plans. If I schedule a big live stream and really promote it, there's times I'm getting 80 to 125 people that are watching live, and I've seen other people on YouTube stream. It's not like that. It's not like that. So I have that. That's what I have. And so, that's something I'm building upon. And so uh so yeah, that's what's up. Thanks, Patrick. As always, Patrick's an old friend. He's talking shit, which is he's good sarcastic, good old sarcastic ribbing back and forth. We can go back, keep going. And then hopefully I'm gonna see you, Patrick, right? I'm gonna see you at the NORWAC conference because Patrick, are you gonna be there? Just tell me that you are, because if you're not there, something's wrong if you're not there, Patrick. Work in the bookstore. Astrologer Mackenzie, I feel like you thrive on lives. I do. I could do this. Um, and yeah, I'm trying to figure out OBS Ninja right now. Some of you know what this is. It's obs.ninja. It's a free plugin for OBS where I create virtual green rooms and I can bring anybody into the streams. I'm figuring this out finally, so I can have anybody, I could pull in anybody on my live stream visually without having to pay third-party services. I need time to experiment with this stuff, but that's what I will be working on in the background the next 2 to 3 weeks. And any of you out there who support my Patreon and pay, or a channel supporter and paid, the gear, the time, the extra things I got to come up with, all that money goes to pay. Pretty much, I don't make crazy money on this stuff, but it pays like the internet bill. It pays any piece of software that I need, I could start using. All the little technicalities, that's where the money really goes. Like that when you support the channel. Um, Patrick, Norwalk should be a go. Great, dude, Patrick. I'm psyched. I have plans. Thinking about throwing a party Saturday night in my room. Second, I'm probably gonna do some streaming out of there. So maybe do something out of the bookstore with y'all. And anybody who's going to be watching online, the NORWAC conference, I'm going to be involved on the online part of it, so you'll see my face there. Kiska, second what Mackenzie wrote. Thank you. Thank you. And so that's what's up. Now I went past my limit. That's good. Needed to test things out. Thank you, Patrick, for telling me that the button for the jewels thing is there. People don't, most people who are video game people, gamers, and they know Twitch, that format, they know what this is. And oh, and finally, last, I'm thinking about dual streaming on Twitch. So whenever I'm gonna go live, I think in the future, I might, as an experiment, will also be going live on Twitch to see who I can capture on there. And that's a whole nother world over there. The second thing, oh, hey, thank you. I want to say thank you to SMC with a super chat on here with a donation. Their 10th one on this channel. Thank you so much, SMC, for the help. Um, I appreciate it. Here are key realities as a YouTube creator. Whenever there's a donation or anything that's happening on YouTube, they're taking a 30% cut. Just to let you know, it's a 30% cut they're taking. I know patrons, they're not taking as much. But there's a thing about this is the live aspect of it. So I wouldn't do the streams if people are donating, like thank you SMC or anybody has in the past. I look at it differently because of what's happening on YouTube and the potential that this channel has and how big this channel can go. I have the biggest online access in the world, more than TikTok, more than anybody. I'm not going to go on TikTok, but that's why I'm here. And there's the channel memberships and all that. And that's something I'm building. And so for me, again, any donation that you give here, I understand the percentages. At the same time, I look at it differently and I look at it, it's feeding. a bigger story that's happening on this channel. So saying that, thank you again for that. Um, and I'm working technically on Twitch too to see what I can do on there. I have a second YouTube channel. I won't tell you what it is. I haven't published anything on there yet. Um, I want to game on there and play video games and talk astrology while I play. There's several games that I can possibly co-op with people. We could play at the same time that'll talk astrology and shoot the shit or whatever. Some of the games that I want to play have mythological orientation in them that will find its way to connecting with astrology. So there's certain things that are on a master plan list that I would love to pull off that are some of my dream stuff. I just need time and space and cash and sleep. Hey Megan, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Megan's a paid member here. But yeah, so uh that would be cool. There's a game out there right now that I just saw that is blowing my mind. I think it's called, is it called Split Second? Oh yes, it is. Is it? Is it? No, it's called Split something. What's the game right now? The big co-op game. Uh, um, Split Fiction. That's the game. Listen, if you're gamers out there, go look up the game Split Fiction, okay? It's one of these co-op games where everything's split in two screens, like oh, games have come out. But this one looks dope, and I have to finish some of the games I'm playing now before I go there. But those are the types of games I want to stream and then talk astrology at the same time. All right, good. That's good. Time for me to go. Thanks y'all for dealing with my experiment. It's always weird when I'm stopping these because there isn't a stop button. Yeah. Okay. Um, in 3, 2,